Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to do a chatbot like the one you see on the screen. It's using GPT-5 Nano, so I can say, hi, who are you? And then it's going to be using OpenAI API on the background. So pretty much you're going to be using ChatGPT through your code. So for this video, I'm going to assume that you already have some knowledge with coding IDEs. If not, I'm gonna submit another video next week on how to use these tools. But even if you don't, I'm still gonna keep it very light if you're not a developer. So yeah, this is kind of like what we're gonna build. So first we need a OpenAI API key. So Google it, go to the OpenAI platform, and then log in. And then once you log in, just go ahead and create a secret key. Keep in mind that if you're gonna have a key, you need a credit card attached to it because these API keys generate a cost. So in this case, I have, for example, one API key here. And then you might be wondering what cost. Pretty much that is coming here. Go to API pricing, and then he's gonna tell you pretty much how much you're gonna be spending. So for example, GPT 5.2 is gonna cost $1.7 for a million words or tokens that you send, and then $14 for words that you get from the model. So a million is a lot. Tokens are not exactly words, but we can consider them like that. So that's pretty much if you want to know. So now, once you are into the OpenAI playground, you can go to the docs and then quick start. And then here is going to tell you how to get started. Actually, now you can create an API key straight from here. So here's going to tell you how to get started. In this case, we're going to use Python. So you have to do, you have to put your OpenAI key, pip install OpenAI, and then because you're going to use Python, it's just as simple as this. So let's get started. I'm going to open Cursor, or you can open VS Code, you can open Windsurf, you can open Google's anti-gravity IDE. In this case, I'm going to use Cursor. So I'm going to open a project, select my folder. All right, so I have here Cursor is all ready to go. What we're going to do now is I'm going to create some files. So first I'm going to create .env file. Here I'm going to put my OpenAI API key, the one that we already created. So keep in mind the text has to be exactly like this, OpenAI underscore API underscore key, all of them in caps. And then here you go ahead and just copy your API key there. So that is one file. Then the next file is going to be the Python file, the main one. Okay, so now my API key is already pasted. Now what we're going to do, we're going to create a README file. So readme.md. And then here in the README, just for these purposes to make it easier and simple, I'm just going to put the basic commands so I remember, or you remember when you open it. So the basic command is going to be Python 3, create a venv environment, and then activate the environment, and then install the requirements. So that means we also need the requirements. So now I'm going to create another file called requirements. In requirements, we only need actually OpenAI, the pip install OpenAI as you saw here. So we are doing here. We're going to use OpenAI and Python .env because my OpenAI API key is here. So that's how we pull it. And then in the README, that's pretty much the only line I have to do. Then I'm going to just put also how to run the program. That is going to be Python app.py. All right. So now with that, we pretty much have everything we need now. Now we go to the app of the one that is going to run the main application. We're going to import OS to pull the APIs. We're going to import .env for the API key as well. Here is already auto-completing it for us. But I'm not going to use that. Then I'm gonna also use from OpenAI, but this I'm not gonna use. Why, you might be wondering, and it's because I don't want to use chat completions. So the API has two. The OpenAI API has chat completions, that is the older API, or responses API, that is the new one. So that's the one I'm gonna use. So I don't need this part, but I do need this. So this is pretty much loading the API key into the environment. And then what this is doing is just getting the API key from the environment. And that's it. So now I'm just gonna go and copy exactly what I need from here, copy it in my Python. All of these I don't need anymore because I already have these two lines. And then using responses API, I'm going to use GPT-5 Nano. You might be wondering what models can I use. You can actually use a bunch of models. You can use GPT 5.2, a little more expensive, GPT 5 Mini cheaper, 5 Nano way cheaper, faster as well, but less intelligent. So just for price sakes, we're going to use GPT-5 Nano, but we can also use GPT-2. You can pull it either like this or like this. If you do it this name, you're gonna just pull all the versions, even if they keep getting updated. From here, you can just run your terminal. You go on the top, terminal, new terminal. So let's run it. And just make sure you're in the right folder. We're in the right folder. I'm gonna go to the README real quick, copy, paste. This is gonna create a Python environment, activate it, and install the requirements. Yes, all right. And then now just run it. Let me just clean the terminal so it looks better. You're gonna do Python app.py. And then what's gonna happen right now is that it's gonna it's gonna run the Python script. So in other words, the Python script, I'm saying write a 1-sentence bedtime story about a unicorn. And this is the sentence about the unicorn. So it's now working on my terminal. But if I want to work as the chatbot that I showed you in the beginning, we can just use Claude Code in this case, or you can use GPT Codex. If you have it installed, if you don't have them, just go to extensions and install either Codex or Claude Code. I already have both of them installed. So just for time's sakes, I'm actually going to use Claude because it's faster. Okay, so in this terminal is where we are already getting our answer, but now let's make it a little more fancy. I'm gonna split my terminal. I'm gonna call Claude, and then I'm gonna ask a simple question. Use my working API, make a simple chatbot interface, the using Flask Python for the back end, one single HTML file, and a visual interface, very simple, one prompt in, one prompt out. So now we're gonna send it. So now what's going to happen is that it's going to create a Python Flask here. It's going to probably create an HTML as well. And then it's going to make a whole user interface using what I already built. So as you can see, it says, okay, perfect. I see you already have the OpenAI API set up. So it's just going to build on top of what I already built. Let's see how Claude Code goes to work. He's asking me for edits. I'm gonna say yes for this session. Up to you. You make the changes. So there you go. So interestingly enough, it didn't even build an HTML on the left. It actually built the HTML on the same file, which is not a good idea for me, but I think it took the simple too seriously. I would rather just do an HTML file on the left. But anyways, now it says it's gonna test it on its own, but I actually don't want it. So I'm gonna say no, but that means it's already ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to run the application. It says that I don't have Flask, of course, because we haven't installed it. And then let me clear it up. I'm gonna run the application and this will give us a server. 127.0.0.1.5,000, that's my number. And then there you go. This is the chatbot that is working with my application on the left side. So if I put these two together, we will be able to see. Let me leave the Claude Code. Let me leave this. So now this is the terminal connected to this application. So for example, if I say, hi, who are you? It would send me here a log saying 200 if it was connected with no problem, 404 if it was a mistake. So here 200 means it was good. It connected to the API with no problem, and that's it. And the input that is sent is now not hard coded. Is actually whatever the user sends. So that's it. That's pretty much how to get the Python API, ChatGPT, OpenAI API working. Hope you liked it.